Hi guys, welcome back to the channel and this quick retrospective on YouTube channeling, as it were. So going through old videos from 10, 15 years ago and uploading the best of them to this new channel. And what struck me was how young I looked. I would have been like 31, 32 when I started YouTubing. Full head of hair, thin, no excess weight. A picture of health, really. And I'm there talking about fighting fantasy books and Warhammer fantasy roleplay, and I'm talking about Breaking Bad as if it's a new show. And I hadn't seen Game of Thrones yet. And I'm really glad I kept those videos because I was filming on a handheld Canon camera, which was quite expensive, I think. It was actually given to me as a present at the time. And the depth of field and the picture quality, even though it's 10, 15 years ago, it seems to be better than a lot of the camera phones we have now. So that was surprising. It does pay to get yourself a proper camera for YouTube. But what struck me about it was, although I was very knowledgeable about the subjects, I seemed to be on this quest of a journey into the fantasy world, the sci-fi realms, the world of role-playing games. I was rediscovering it as an adult, having enjoyed it in my teens. I was rediscovering it again in my late 20s and early 30s. And what struck me really was it was a quest for escapism, and it was occurring round about the same time as the tsunami that occurred in 2011. I think that's what triggered the YouTube channel. I desperately needed a creative outlet where I could communicate in English, because I was living in a foreign country at the time. So I could communicate in my native language to folks who had similar interests. And at the time it was, of course, the RPG Brigade, the roleplay game community, which is now a completely different place. But at the time it was a group of YouTubers all chatting and sharing videos about their favourite edition of Dungeons and Dragons or their favourite Call of Cthulhu scenario, setting each other tasks, character creation and all of that. It was a really fun, creative place to be. But I think the biggest thing that struck me about looking back at the videos, and you'll probably notice this if you bother to watch them, is that I had a very, very small shelf with enough space for probably 2 rows of books and a few board games and a few RPG novels and a few sci-fi novels. And that was it. And that's all I had. But the way I'm presenting them, it was almost like it's a shrine, like it's a treasure. I think it's because it was difficult to get English material for a long time. And then, of course, we had the emergence of things like Amazon. So all of a sudden, it wasn't difficult to get access to English material. And the rest is history. In fact, if I turn the camera around now, which I might do at the end of this video, you'll be horrified to see how much of the collection has grown. Still, a lot of it is in the attic, but the stuff I've got out is the stuff that's either my favourite or I've yet to read. Anyway, let's get to the point. The point I wanted to make, the biggest observation of all the videos from 10, 15 years ago in the early 2010s, the biggest observation was I didn't know who I was. I was still on this journey, even in my early 30s, of self-discovery. And not only that, I don't think there's many smiles in the video. So without noticing it, I think I was quite stressed, possibly oppressed, and quite depressed as well. And that's the great thing about roleplay games, fighting fantasy, board games, all the rest of it. The great thing about these things is if we are feeling not so good in the day-to-day world, it's a place to exist and a place to be creative. And that's what struck me. When I vlog and upload now, I'm very much myself to camera. But yeah, I was incredibly shy in those early videos. And I think a lot of that might have been from Japanese culture, where you're always not trying to stand out. And for someone like me who's quite gregarious an actor and a performer, loves community, loves people, I found that was hard work to try and fit in and to try and be another face in the crowd. That's not why I was over there. And I think I missed the point. I was over there to teach English and teach about Western culture. And I somehow forgot that and became so influenced by the culture that I was desperately trying to fit in, and it wasn't working. So please excuse this sort of stream of consciousness video, but these were just thoughts I wanted to get down about looking back at those early videos, which ironically started off as a comedy channel and within a few weeks became really quite serious. And yeah, there's a lot of soul searching on there and self-discovery and a lot of sadness as well, really. I think it's nice to be out through the other side, but it's also nice to know that role play games, game books, board games, tabletop gaming, it's nice to know that those things, although I did get a bit too into them at times, they helped my recovery. They helped my anxiety and my PTSD that had developed. They helped my overriding sense of isolation, which exists when you're a foreigner in another country teaching your language and it's not the native language. Outside of Europe, America, Canada, it can be quite isolating. Most people do a year and go home. I was out there for over a decade. I miss it every day, but I am thankful for that other world that the roleplay games gave me. And the people I met along the way were fantastic. Met many of them at UK Games Expo, which of course is on next week. I can't go, I can't afford the hotels this time, but maybe next year. But I've been to 4 expos. They've all been great. They've all been moments of, oh my God, what am I doing here? But on the whole, really fantastic weekends. And it's been beautiful to watch the expo grow from a few hundred people to the thousands and thousands that it is now. So it's not down to me, it's down to everyone that ran it, went and volunteered, but I'm really resting on my laurels in this video, and I'm proud to have been a small part of that over the years. And I've actually shared a best of expo video. I might do another one in the coming week. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this quick YouTube retrospective. So started YouTubing at 32, now looking back at 45 and thinking, who was that person? They didn't know. They didn't know either. And maybe there'll be another video in 20 years' time looking back at this one, saying they thought they'd had it all sussed out. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you like this sort of stuff, I mainly do painting videos, but there's the occasional life vlog like this. I also talk about fighting fantasy books and roleplay games, as well as video games. I'm trying to specialise on the painting, but no promises. Knowing me, I will just upload whatever I feel like at the time. So thanks for watching, and please like, subscribe and share. This has been Ash's Vlog 2025, geeking out so you don't have to. Have a great weekend. That's all you know.